All right, here we are on page 2 of the Benchmark 3 review. So, number 5, a cat is stuck in a tree and firemen try to rescue it. Based on the figure, if a fireman climbs to the top of the ladder, how far away is the cat? I understand the picture may look a little confusing, but basically what we have here is a big right triangle with the line through the middle. You see the 40 and the 30, and this 46 is from here to here, basically from the ground to the edge of the ladder. They want to know how much more is the ladder from the top of it to where that cat would be at the top. I know it's really hard to see, but there's supposed to be a cat right there. This goes back again to similarity, and this is triangle proportionality. So basically what we should have here is 30 over 40, this and this, equals x over 46. Now, we've done problems before, and I don't know if there's any more on this offhand, but the reason we're not making this the big triangle and the little triangle and just the two pieces as is because we do not involve either of those lengths, right? If you're not involving the parallel lines, just the pieces of each, the hypotenuse on the long side, then you just set up a regular proportion. So this is 40x equals 30 times 46. As I do this in my head and not a calculator on my phone that's right next to me, 1,380 divided by 40, again totally in my head, and x is 34.5. All right. Number 6, find the missing links of x, y of the gray parallelogram. When you look at your paper, it's going to be gray because it's printed out. But on my on this video, you can see it looks kind of tan, I guess. But not the point either here nor there. So find the missing links. You have 10 square root of 3. It's not stated here, but this is a square, and I might have to change that for the actual papers I pass out, because that's one of the keys to this. That means that all sides are 10 square root of 3. And why that's important is because you notice in the white at each corner there's a 30, 60, 90 triangle, which by the pattern is x square root of 3, that's horrible writing, 2x for the hypotenuse. So if x square root of 3 we know gives us 10 square root of 3, obviously x is 10. Right, so that's 10 there, and then 10 over here on this side. And that makes the hypotenuse x, first of all, 20. So we know x is 20, x in the problem, right here. And then for this, we know its whole length is 10 square root of 3. We know that white piece is 10, so you literally from your calculator have to figure out what 10 square root of 3 minus 10 is. And before you go to just assuming, it's not necessarily just the square root of 3, right? I know when you look at it, you might think, well, 10 square root of 3 minus 10, we just get rid of the 10s and we're left with the square root of 3, but it's not. It's like saying 3x minus 3 is just x. That's not true because they're two different types of numbers. 10 times the square root of 3 is 17.32. So minus 10 leaves you with 7.32. And the square root of 3 is obviously bigger than, than 7.32. Okay. Again, a problem like this, though, you got to know your special rights, and it depends on what you see on the multiple choice possibilities for the answers. Okay. Number 7, the mascot holds the end of a kite 4 feet above the ground. The string makes an angle of elevation of 38 degrees. If 55 feet of string are let out, how high off the ground is the kite? So this is the problem we had on the test. I decided to provide a very real, lifelike picture of a mascot holding a kite. You can pretty much imagine yourself at a Spurs game. This looks so lifelike. So an angle of elevation of 38 degrees right here. This, of course, is the kite string, which is 55 feet. How high off the ground is the kite? So it's that problem again where the triangle you can clearly see is made above the ground. And when we find x, we're only going to find that, and we need to remember to add this extra 4 feet in. So let's set this up. From the 38, that's opposite. That's hypotenuse. And opposite hypotenuse is sine. So we have sine of 38 equals opposite over hypotenuse. And this pen is not writing as well as it used to. Sine, there we go, x over 55. So you're going to do 55 times sine 38, which is going to give us 33.86. But again, we got to take into account this 4 feet. Don't forget to add it in. You get 37.86 feet off the ground. All right, so again, several different trig problems and triangles. Right triangles, obviously, is going to be the majority, if not this entire benchmark. All right, there's page 2. Look for page 3 on video number 3.